I want to talk about supplemental materials for the E-Core Physics class. Now, as the name implies, these are supplemental. There are no points associated with them. You don't have to go to these different resources. You don't have to use them. But we've included them in particular for this class because as instructors, we know that physics can be hard to understand. We also know, obviously, that you're not in class talking to a professor or hearing a lecture like you're doing right now. So there are 3 different particular supplemental resources that we have included. I want to say from the very start that others are out there. There are some wonderful resources that are available. And if you go online and begin looking around and find something else that works for you, by all means use it. In fact, if that happens, I would encourage you to put a post in the discussion section sharing with the other students what you found and why you find it to be valuable. But for now, we limit it to 3 possibilities, 3 different resources that could help you in different ways. The first one is a website that I found about a half a year ago, and as a science instructor, I really like it. John Anderson has created a site called BozemanScience.com. Mr. Anderson is a high school teacher, biology, chemistry, physics, and he's done different videos on all of those different topics. The ones that we're recommending are related to AP Physics. Now, before you think about AP high school physics, the truth is that advanced placement physics is supposed to be physics at a college level. So I would recommend at least taking a look at some of his videos. I can tell you this, Mr. Anderson does a good job with basic ideas, fundamental understanding. If you already had a course in physics before, you might not find them to be all that valuable. Although, truthfully, I like them sometimes because I already know those ideas. And for me, it's a good review, so I can see how somebody else is explaining it, and quite often he says something or presents something in a way that I think is really kind of helpful. So Bozeman Science is the first possibility as a supplemental resource. The second one we recommend is a lot more traditional, and you've probably already heard of it. You may have used it before in some of your classes, and that's Khan Academy. Khan Academy does things similar to what I'm doing right now. You're going to hear Khan usually as a voiceover. He generally draws on a screen. Sometimes he makes mistakes and he adds corrections to it while you're watching the video. Like I said, if you miss having the lecture portion of the course because it's online, or if you've used Khan Academy before and discovered that it works for you, then he can be a good resource. Now, I would strongly encourage you not to replace Khan Academy with the textbook. The textbook is still the main resource for understanding the ideas. Khan Academy is not going to give you what you need in order to do the homework problems. But again, take a look at his videos. They're a little bit longer than Bozeman Science, generally 10 to 15 minutes. Bozeman Science tends to be 8 minutes or less. The third resource I have to recommend to you, and it's not about me. It's my own physics students. When I first discovered this website and shared it with some of my physics students, they said, "Oh yeah, I know about that site, and I've used it before for the physics classes." And that is iLecture Online. I've said before in other videos, and you will discover that solving word problems is a big part of what you're going to be doing in this course. What Mr. Van Biezen does is take particular word problems, writes them on the board, starts at the beginning, works through the end. He does it all freehand right there on the whiteboard. But I tell you, if you were taking this class with me and if I was doing a problem on the board, he does it a lot better than me. Because, as I said before, so much of this course is about problem solving, I would strongly encourage you to take a look at some of his, at least at the beginning. If you find his approach to be helpful, that's great. If you discover that doing it by other methods or doing it with other people or a different approach works for you, that's okay too. As I said at the start, all 3 of these resources are supplemental. We have recommendations. You don't have to do them. And in fact, you can go to the websites and maybe you discover that other videos or other things at those websites are even more valuable than the ones we recommend. There are many different problems. There's a lot of material there. The idea is not to show you everything, but just to share with you some of the particular videos that we found to be valuable or we think can be valuable for the particular topics under study for that lesson. So, supplemental resources. Check them out. If you like them, use them. If you don't, that's okay too.